Hey folks, I've been told my audio is a little bit lacking. In my last couple videos I posted, it's probably been a week and a half, maybe just a week since then, but I figure I would just up the volume and readjust my mic. So now I've got the microphone on a hat, pointed at my face, above my mouth, and hopefully that will help with clarity. Today, we're going to work on my collected, what I believe is an autumn olive. Um, it took a long time to come back into foliage, but now it's time to trim it up and do a little bit of branch selection. I don't really have to worry too much about healing wounds, so I'm just going to start at the bottom and choose which branches I want. This one being my lowest branch, it's just right here at the bottom. I don't find it to be good, bad, or indifferent, but for that reason, if I have no opinion on it, I shouldn't be using it. So it's gone. A little growth right there, not necessary. Take that off. A little stub here. I'll have to trim that off at a later date. Not really concerned about it now. Got this one in the back here. And if you look at it, it's really just not growing where I need it to grow. This is the only one that's where I need it to grow. So it's going to come off as well, along with all these little new suckers. And of course, I haven't picked the front, but I think the front will probably be somewhere around here. Haven't decided. Let's look at this lowest branch here. I think it needs to be redirected. I'd done it here, but I think it's just not low enough to give it good movement. This is really straight. So I'm going to cut it back at least to here. And that helps a little bit with that. So if my front's about there, I think that's, I guess a little bit farther. I've got this kind of headed back off the trunk there. I like that. Of course, I got more there that I can use in that way. Dead stub, dead stub. I do not need this little bit of growth just real far down here. So let me get rid of it. It's a nice branch. I don't have to worry about it being terrible to me. And I think that is where I'll leave that. This is really, since this is going to die back, it shouldn't sprout anymore there. It's coming back. It's giving me some movement there. I might still use this. So I will just take the tip off of it, as Nigel would say. And that one's nicely, take one more off. That one's nicely pruned off. That way I can have my movement, or my branch come in this way after it's already gone back. Give me a little bit of good movement there, if it does take off. All right, let's see if I can get a little bit of this off. I don't think I can. I think this is a little bit, nah, that's a little too big. Shouldn't have done that. May have bent the tip. All right. Move a stub here. A little clean up there. Go. And we've got this one. I don't like this growth coming off the top of it here. I don't think it's necessary, so I'll take it right off. Down at the bottom here, again, it's horizontal enough. Take that off. Don't need it. And then I've really just got this one to choose. I'll take it off at a somewhat downward facing branch and then just take off the stub there. So that's a good start on that one. It does come up pretty far, but I fear if I cut it back to this lowest, let's see there, this lowest leaf, it'll just come in too far. And I am now just avoiding my cat eating all my plants. Nina, Lucy's being good. Hey, can you back up a little bit? You're going to knock something over. Also, you annoy her. It helps me. I hear you. Sorry for the intermission, folks. All right. So that one's good to go. We'll move up. And this is where the real mess starts to happen. Hold on a second. I need to actually shoo someone inside. Go inside. Thank you. All right, the real mess is up here. I think my lowest branch is this one here, which of course I've got a lot of selection there. It's hard to see. So it came out and I redirected it. I like the one that comes out this way, but I've got almost nothing on this side of the trunk. This is dead. Yeah, that was dead. So I've got to choose between a good branch that goes one direction and a branch I don't really love that goes a different. What I'll do, I'll choose later. They're really coming off of one branch. The thicken the base here isn't too bad. I do like this one. I will see if I can keep it going that way. It wouldn't be bad if I can get to swirl around, but I think I'm going to end up keeping this branch over this one just because of how this one is. You know what? I'll take it all the way back and see if this takes off. If this one here, or you can't even see very well there, this one here takes off, this bottom one versus dying back, I'll use that. If not, I'll stick with the one that looks nicer. All right. I think from there, I'm looking at this branch here, which I do also like. It's got a little bit of growth on the bottom here. I'm going to trim off, which you probably can't see. Just a little bit there. It's a nice little branch. Those kind of shoots at the end of it here, so I'm going to take all those off so you can see a little bit better. Of course, I'm trying to heal this wound, but I think that I also need to be mindful of how big my healing branches are. So I'm just going to take these off. They're actually just growing this branch anyways. They're not really healing that wound. So now we're looking at this one. This isn't quite the apex. It's okay if it comes up a little bit, but I don't want it coming up too much. So I'll take this off here, just in case this becomes a usable branch. Take this off here and hope that this takes off instead. I do like that branch. And it is at a good place. You know, if my leader should be this one, it's going this way, that's a really good place for those to go. Kind of making a Y there, but it's on the outside of a curve. We can deal with it. That being said, I have all these different branches coming from there. This one may also be one I would like to keep. I'll hold on to this. This is a little shoot that's going to help peel that, but you know what? It's already calloused there. I'm not going to worry about that. Now I've got to decide which one will end up being the leader. And this is all calloused up, so I'll take off all these little shoots. I don't think any of them are helping me. I intended to collect this tree, because this is a collected tree, as a somewhat mature specimen. So all these little shoots are just little shoots. There we go. See, that's callus that I'm cutting into, which is good. This calloused up real nice up here. I don't know if you can see, but it's almost completely covered that over. So now I'm looking at it. This is what I'd intended to be my leader, because it's my highest point. And if that's the case, I don't want this here. Also, if that's the leader, my front kind of has to be somewhere around here. My front's there. Let's see if I can chip away at this real quick. This is just a eyesore. Now, I'll get the big one for that. And I will. My front's here. This is a nice back branch if I had the front like that. I think that would be okay. So if this is a back branch, this one's coming off this side. It's super low. But that's something we can deal with. I'll leave it for now. We'll call that a sacrificial branch. So if that's the back branch, really my first branch is up here. And I don't have anything here. So I'll have to look for something, you know, coming out there. Maybe change my planting angle. If I had it planted more like that. But I'm not sure there. Well, let's see here. We'll take off into this. It's not usable. Into this one. And then I'm going to prune the ends off of all these typical growing branches just to give myself a little better idea. So I'm not sure. I did want to use this one as my apex, but it doesn't really flow nicely. And this one, although it doesn't have a great, take this off, though it doesn't have a great, how do you say, transition, it does have kind of nice flow. Come up like this and up like that. If I leave that, not sure. Not sure. I think that is the one I should leave, because I should probably nibble this down more. I really kind of imagine this more as the front. But this doesn't even work in that case. It's just not the right direction. I'm going to take it back to this last branch. that comes up this way, it may straighten up some. I've got this one here, just in case. That's it, straight up. I don't want that either. That'll come out. Let's look at that now. Do I have any right angles? See, this is kind of a weeping branch, pretty high up in the tree. I don't think I need that and this. This is a really nice branch down here. This is tough. I think we can agree this one needs to go here. I will old leaf be there. You have to stub a little bit. Not, maybe it's just too thick. This is very hard wood, olive wood. Let's see if I can. A little bit. A little bit. All right. I don't need 2 liters. Don't need that down below. They are both healing it really nicely. This one really needs to pick up the pace if it's going to stay. You know, I like this branch, but it's heading in the wrong direction. Regardless of what I like, it needs to go. That's going to come off there. Trim that up. A piece of that old dead branch. We'll have to see if that takes off. These are kind of ladder branches. And the question is which one's nicer? I think this one's nicer. I don't think I can keep all 3 of these up here. And that's what's bothering me right now. I think my front needs to be here. I need to make that my front. So if I'm looking at it, I'm a little bit offset from you guys. Sorry, I've gotten quiet again. I'm a little bit offset from you guys. This is kind of an eye poker, this one down here. So I'm going to take it the other direction. Take it into this branch. And I can't do much with that other branch. It's just going to have to sit there for a while. So in that case, this works well as the leader. And this back one here just doesn't need to be there. So I'm even be able to do this. It's just too hard of wood. Well, start off there and we'll cut it a little more flush. So in that case, these are still ladder branches down here. I make it work? That's the question. I think this one's too... If they were swapped, it would work nicely. This one doesn't have a downward facing bud, so I think what I've got to do, I've got to take the end off of it, see if anything else comes out. I don't have any clear. There was the one here that I took off. Maybe that'll take off, but this whole thing needs to come off. What am I talking about? It's just not a good branch. It would be okay if it was swapped again, but I'm not growing any tree. I'm growing a nice tree. And we're looking at the future, way in the future, not just any time. So now looking at it, I don't think that this one needs to be here at all. So now I've got this low branch, which might be pretty cool. I've got this, the first real branch coming on the outside of a curve. I'll carve this down a little bit better, although it will heal over nicely. I'm just gonna have to cut that down. In fact, I should cut it down kind of an angle here, almost like that. So that way it can, oh, is that working? Interesting. Oh, I like that. So that way it can continue to heal. Give me a better transition there. Well, that's on the back of the tree. It's not a huge deal. It doesn't look that bad from the front. This will thicken up and take that up. So now I've got my leader. I've got my lowest branch. I'll take that back to here. Get this one coming down, weeping a little bit. And this will probably end up being sacrificial. So pull out all my bits that stayed local. Got some, I do routine pinching on my cypress that's right next to it. So sometimes I just drop the leaves versus putting them where they're supposed to be. And this is about how this tree looked for most of the spring so far. So I'm fully confident it'll leaf out again. I took all the foliage off it. Again, it's an autumn olive, I believe. So it should be fine. It's got a little bit of foliage. This should be extremely vigorous. In fact, the whole tree should be extremely vigorous. This should grow back in no time. So, just making sure I've got. I think that was supposed to be moss. It's not anymore. Yeah. So, thanks for watching my little prune up. Hope you guys appreciated it. That's how she looks now. Stick in a pot. Pretty soon it'll be a beautiful work of art. By pretty soon, I mean way more time than you will probably be subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me, folks.